So now we come to our final inductee of the evening. So now we can all hail the King. From a tiny northern town of 800 to the brightest lights in hockey. From Hornpain to Muskoka to the National Hockey League to Aurora. Kris King didn't just play the game, he protected it. 14 seasons, 6 teams, nearly 900 battles in the world's toughest league. A captain, an enforcer, a heartbeat guy. And off the ice, even tougher. Leading charities, lifting families, and standing up for those who needed a champion. He was the King, who was awarded a trophy befitting a king, the King Clancy Trophy, awarded for sportsmanship and humanitarianism. I've covered sports for a long time. I started when I was 5, but no, he truly is one of the greatest people I've been around in the game. He's watched more hockey than anybody on this planet, I'm sure. From the NHL Situation Room to right here in Aurora, where he's been coaching and mentoring and giving back without ever asking for the spotlight. So tonight we shine it on him. Kris King, warrior, leader, gentleman, and the 2 best words that any guy could give another guy: great dude. Kris King, welcome to the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Born in 1966 in Bracebridge, Ontario, Kris King's journey from small-town beginnings to the highest levels of professional hockey is a story of perseverance, leadership, and compassion, both on and off the ice. His path began in the northern Ontario town of Hornpain, population 800, where he first laced up his skates at just 5 years old. Even then, his determination stood out. When the family moved to the Muskokas, Kris became a prolific scorer with the Ravenhurst Minor Hockey Association, a fierce competitor who led his Junior C League in scoring. That competitive drive earned Kris a place with the Peterborough Petes of the Ontario Hockey League, where he built a reputation as a fearless, physical presence and became the team's all-time leader in penalty minutes. But behind the toughness was a player motivated by loyalty and heart, someone who stood up for his teammates and led by example.
I don't think it was a revelation when I actually looked him up, because he gave me a little bit of a heads up as to what it is that I might expect. And that had to do with, his being a tough guy on the ice. He joked with me about the fact that the average NHL hockey player might have 270 minutes of penalties by the time they retire. And he, I think, had 2,700 or something like that.
Drafted in the 4th round of the 1984 NHL draft by the Washington Capitals, Kris's road to the big leagues wasn't easy. He paid his dues in the minors before carving out a 14-season career in the NHL, playing for 6 teams: the Capitals, Detroit Red Wings, New York Rangers, Winnipeg Jets, Phoenix Coyotes, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Chicago Blackhawks. Known as a relentless checker and dependable teammate, he was the player who did the hard things, blocking shots, protecting stars, and never backing down from a challenge.
My first memory of Kris King is not a good one. It's a bad one, and I'm going to tell you why. Kris King's very first National Hockey League game was against me. I was in goal for the opposing team. In Detroit, Kris didn't have skates, borrowed a pair of skates from a teammate, Dougie Hallward. Wore those skates. He scored his very first NHL goal on me. And I remember thinking, who the hell is this guy who scored on myself with borrowed equipment? That was Kris King.
Off the ice, Kris became just as well known for his heart. In Winnipeg, he championed 5 local charities, chaired the Manitoba Muscular Dystrophy Association, and served as honorary chair of the Ronald McDonald House. He granted Make-A-Wish requests and co-hosted the Jerry Lewis Telethon. In New York, he worked with addiction recovery programs and was even nominated for a Points of Light Award for community service, an honor presented by the President of the United States. In 1996, Kris received one of the NHL's most prestigious honors, the King Clancy Memorial Trophy, awarded to the player who best exemplifies leadership and humanitarianism.
You know, Kris has unbelievable leadership skills, and those leadership skills are really most demonstrated by his commitment and his hard work. And it was the same attributes that made him a quality hockey player, and it's the same attributes that make him a terrific person and somebody that has flourished in the National Hockey League.
After 849 NHL games, 66 goals, 85 assists, and over 2,000 penalty minutes, Kris retired in 2000. But his influence on the game didn't stop there. He transitioned into leadership at the NHL's head office in Toronto, where he now serves as Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations, overseeing the NHL's Situation Room and ensuring fairness and integrity across the league.
And Kris had that intangible side of the ledger that says, I might not be as fast as you, I might not be as strong as you, I might not score as many goals as you, but I'm going to work harder than you. So working for the National Hockey League, covering 1,200 and some games in the regular season and another couple hundred in the playoffs takes hard work. That's something you can't teach. That's something that Kris King had.
Beyond hockey, Kris's compassion has touched countless lives. In 2017, he helped found Camp Faces, a summer program for families of fallen emergency services and military personnel, offering healing, hope, and community. He also worked with the OPP and NHL alumni to create Putting Stigma in the Penalty Box, a mental health awareness series that gives voice to those struggling in silence. And through it all, Kris has never forgotten his roots. He built Kris King's Muskoka Summer Hockey School, mentoring young players and giving back to the community that first believed in him.
And I had known Kris just long enough where I thought I'd give him a call and see if I created this summer camp, would the NHL be willing to contribute things like merchandise and sweaters and things like that, just to excite the kids. And I remember him saying to me on the phone, I think I can do better than that. He said, why don't I come and help out? And Kris was there every single day as a very celebrated athlete, but really as a father.
In 1997, Kris and his family moved to Aurora, where he continued his lifelong commitment to giving back. He coached minor hockey, supported local charities, and alongside his wife Paula, served as co-chair of the Ronald McDonald House. In every role, player, leader, mentor, Kris King has embodied the values of teamwork, resilience, and empathy.
Kris, I want to take a moment just to congratulate you and celebrate your success, not only as an athlete, but also as a man, as a father, as a grandfather, as a community member, and being inducted to the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Kinger, all I can say is that it's so well deserved. You had a great career in the NHL, and you've had an unbelievable career in your post-playing days with the National Hockey League, and it is well deserved. I'm very happy for you and your family, Kinger, and they couldn't have picked somebody better to go into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Kris King, congratulations on being inducted into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame. From the humble beginnings of scoring your first NHL goal on me, embarrassing me that first night, I've forgotten all about it, but I'm going to remember this. You're a great teammate, you're a great friend, you're a great family man, and you deserve to be elected into the Hall of Fame. From my family to yours, congratulations. What the hell took you so long? This is your night. Congrats, Kinger.
And now, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to hockey, his tireless community leadership, and his unwavering commitment to others, we are proud to welcome Kris King into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Look at you, you old softy, eh? New Roads Automotive Group is the sponsor, and I'd like to call on Alan Trimble to come up. Also, our page, Avery Grant, who is an Aurora Tiger, currently playing here. So let's hear it for Avery. Avery, by the way, is drafted by the Flint Firebirds in the 2022 OHL Under-18 draft. He's the assistant captain as well for the Jamaican men's national ice hockey team. Ladies and gentlemen, hockey fans of all ages, please welcome the great Kris King. Look at you in red. You ever worn red?
Thanks, Blackie. Big Rod. Those of us that know him, we call him Wee Rod. You go with that the way you want to go with that. But, you know, this it's not very often you can catch me off guard, but that video was pretty special. And this night just keeps getting better. I mean, 44 regular still fits me. I mean, that's a good start. But you know, going last, sometimes you think that's the best part of the night. But tonight, that's certainly not the story here. It stinks, actually. Erlinda, Paula won't let me go to the pool anymore because of you. I mean, come on. And Heather, where were you when I was training? Like Murph and Kitch back there, my coach in Toronto, had they known, they'd have sent me to you, you know, and I wouldn't be on a fourth line. I wouldn't be going fourth tonight. But anyways, what a great night. Robert, Erlinda, Heather, I'm so proud to get to know you. You're my teammates now. All of those that are here tonight with the Red Jackets, it's just an honor to be part of this group. It really is. I didn't know what to expect when I got the call for the nomination. Danielle, you little turd, thanks very much for doing all that. Danielle's my daughter, by the way. But this is truly an honor, one that I'll never forget. When you're recognized by your community and the people in that community, it's what else can I say? It's truly special. For those that don't know my career, and I won't bore you with it, when Paul and I were playing the game for 14 years, until we came to Toronto in '97, I was a fourth line left winger playing on 1- and 2-year deals. So we never had the ability to put down solid roots. We were young parents in new cities, playing the game of hockey, renting homes, and then once we got a chance to come to Toronto and put down solid roots. I don't know, Paula, how we got to Aurora, but we did. Paula's from Peterborough, I'm from the Muskokas. We'd been to Toronto hundreds of times, but where were we going to put down our roots? Where were we going to make our hockey home? Where were we going to raise our 3 kids? And luckily enough, we landed in Aurora, and we bought a home. I think the third one we looked at and bought it that night. I know we should have probably taken a little more time, but we were making up for a hell of a lot of lost time. So I remember coming, we were very excited to show Paula's parents our new home. And about 2 days after we had bought it, we drove to Aurora and we turned down Heatherfield Lane, and there was this gentleman running up the street. And as he got closer, I thought, I know that guy. And as he got even closer, I said, oh shit, that's my coach. It was Mike Murphy running up the street. And so I kind of flagged him down, rolled down the window, and I said, Mr. Murphy, And Kris King, he says, yeah, we just signed you. He said, yeah. He goes, what are you doing here in Aurora? And I said, well, we just bought a house. And the street he was running up has 9 homes on it. And he goes, you did? Where'd you buy? And I go, well, the second one down on the left. And he said, oh boy, I'm the third one down on the left. And as it turned out, I bought a house beside my coach. And Murph said the boys are going to have a lot of fun with that one. And so it's probably why he played me on the 4th line with Tiny all year. Not to show any favoritism, but we got him back because he got fired that year. And I'm not sure if it was the reason, but it certainly didn't help Murph. But in all honesty, I mean, it couldn't have been a better break for us. The Murphy family became dear friends. Their daughter babysat our kids. His boys ruined my hot tub and flooded my basement. Yvonne had a great candy drawer where Kyle would sneak over. When we couldn't find him at home, we knew exactly where he was. He was next door. But the friendship was started. I had the pleasure of working with Murph for 25 years at the NHL. Not only was he a coach and a neighbor and a true friend, but a mentor. And Murph, thanks very much. You taught me how to be an executive, and I carry on in what you did. Congratulations on your retirement. I know you and Yvonne must be enjoying it because Coley and I haven't got a call from Yvonne to bring you back just yet, so I'm sure that call should come soon. But listen, it was a great house. It was a great street. We had great neighbors, and I could walk back from Tom and Jerry's pretty easy, so it was a good thing. But it didn't all start out great in Aurora. My son Eric, who's here with his fiancée Bianca, came home from grade 2 on his first day of school, and he said at the dinner table, Dad, am I allowed to fight at school? And me being, well, I mean, couldn't you find a goal in that video? Like just one, you know? So what if I spent 6.5 weeks in the penalty box? I mean, Eric said, Dad, can I fight at school? And I said, you know, trying to be the good father and not the reason the Leafs probably signed me for 4 years, said, you know, son, there's better ways to deal with things like this. You should talk to the person or maybe talk to your teacher. And I said, well, what do you want to fight for anyways? And he said, well, there's a boy in my class, I really like him, but his dad says you're not a very good player and the Leafs wasted a lot of money on you. So Paula kind of said, Eric, you know what, we don't want you fighting, but if he says it again, belt him. But anyways, the community was great. Our kids got involved. Danielle, my daughter, she played boys hockey, and then she played with the ladies. She was able to play soccer at a high level here in Aurora and represent the community. Took her to university to play soccer at Laurentian, where she became a teacher. Eric didn't play much hockey in Winnipeg. It was too cold, and I didn't want him going outside. Then we went to Arizona. There was one rink, so he wasn't playing there. But he got here, and all his buddies were playing, so he started house league. He got better. He worked hard at it, and was a member of the I think the minor midget AA All-Ontario champions. I was coaching, I was assistant coach, and Eric got kicked out in that last game, so he was like his dad a little bit. But anyways, our kids really enjoyed it, and my youngest son Kyle's not here. Tom Creek, who they introduced earlier, my son works for the OPP, and he's working tonight, so Tom, thanks for keeping him busy. We appreciate it. But he didn't play sports. He got tired of being dragged around to arenas and soccer pitches, and he did his mother and I a big favor and said, you know what, sports aren't for me. So he became a photographer and a great kid. So, you know, hockey careers are a series of good luck and timely breaks. And I think one of my greatest breaks happened in 1985 when I was a member of the Peterborough Petes. And our captain lived at this house with some great people. And they had a daughter there, her name was Paula. And she was older than us. Paula says, I'm only 6 months older than you. But she was older, and she didn't really care much for us. We were kind of arrogant. Well, let's call a spade a spade. She called us idiots, and we kind of were. We walked around the school with our Peach tracksuits on, and we thought we were pretty good, which I kind of think we were. But anyways, after lots of bugging and lots of questions and lots of asking, she finally decided to go out on a date with me. And, hey, Danny, how old are you now? 37? It's 37 plus 1, 2. So 39 years Paul and I have been together. And I'm dead now. But for those that know my wife, She's a wonderful person. She's an awesome mom. She's a great partner. And now she's a really, really, really good gaga to Peyton and Emmett, our 2 grandkids. That's very lucky to be able to be grandparents, even though we don't look like it, but we are. But you know what? She's been a rock behind my career when I played. She certainly gave me the support that I needed when things weren't going great, and she was always positive. And for that, Paula, I thank you very much. And thank you. But anyways, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Javed and the Hall of Fame board and all the volunteers. Like I said, when I got the call, I didn't really know what to expect through the Zoom calls and the meetings. And like I said, really enjoyed the VIP night last night. Got to meet some great new teammates. I'm proud to wear the red jersey with you, and I'm looking forward to getting to know more of you together. Maybe you can join Murph and Kitch and I at, this is going to become our new Tom and Jerry's outfit, so we'll be wearing these with pride. But just real quickly, Bill, thank you, my friend. I love you. You're a good man. Kenny, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Glenn Healy, he's a complete asshole, but I got him back. I hit him in a slap shot in practice one day and split him wide open. So, but we did spend a lot of time together. Cujo played all the time. He never played, and I got stuck at the end of the bench, so we talked a lot. So Heels and I are real good buddies. But Wendy and Jerry and our friends from the alumni, thanks for coming. It really, truly means a lot to me to have such good friends. And in this game, you get to meet thousands and thousands of people, and most of them are great people. But there are truly people here that are really important. And Gus, yes, you too, Gus. And Carm, thanks for coming. And to my family, my brother Greg, Tracy, everybody, thank you very much. I think I talked about a great break in meeting Paula, but I think one of the biggest breaks we ever got was when we decided to move to Aurora and call this home. So thank you very much. Oh, and I just want to thank New Roads as well. I mean, the gesture of a free lease for a year for me for doing this is fantastic. I appreciate it. I'll come by and pick out that car next week. You got it. All right.
That's good.